4 world empires, one final kingdom of terror. The prophet Daniel was given the blueprint for world history 2,500 years ago, and it's been unfolding exactly as he predicted. In the long and often chaotic story of human civilization, history can feel like a series of random, disconnected events, the rise and fall of empires driven by the whims of ambitious men. But the Bible presents a radically different perspective. It reveals that behind the curtain of human affairs, there is a sovereign God who is directing history toward a predetermined conclusion. And nowhere is this divine blueprint for the ages laid out more clearly than in the book of the prophet Daniel. Living as an exile in the heart of the Babylonian Empire in the 6th century BC, Daniel was given a series of visions that outlined the entire course of Gentile world history, from his own time until the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. The book of Daniel is the indispensable key to understanding all of biblical prophecy. The prophecy begins in chapter 2 with a dream that troubles Nebuchadnezzar, the mighty king of Babylon. He dreams of an enormous, terrifying statue, but upon waking, he cannot remember the details. He demands his magicians and astrologers not only interpret the dream, but first tell him what the dream was, an impossible task. When they fail, he orders their execution. It is at this moment that Daniel, a young Jewish exile serving in the king's court, steps forward, claiming that his God in heaven can reveal the mystery. Daniel is brought before the king and describes the forgotten dream with perfect accuracy. The king had seen a great statue with a head of fine gold, a chest and arms of silver, a belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet of a mixture of iron and clay. Then the king watched as a stone, cut out without hands, struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay, shattering it to pieces. The wind carried away the dust of the broken statue, and the stone that struck it grew into a great mountain that filled the whole earth. Daniel then provides the divine interpretation. The statue represents a succession of 4 great Gentile world empires that would rule over Israel and the known world. The head of gold, Daniel tells Nebuchadnezzar directly, "You are this head of gold." It represents the Babylonian Empire, glorious and absolute in its power. But its rule would not last. After Babylon, another kingdom would arise, inferior to it, represented by the chest and arms of silver. This was fulfilled by the Medo-Persian Empire, which conquered Babylon in 539 BC. The dual nature of the empire, a coalition of the Medes and the Persians, is perfectly symbolized by the 2 arms of the statue. Following Persia, a third kingdom, one of bronze, would rule over the whole earth. This points to the Greek Empire, established by the lightning-fast conquests of Alexander the Great. His empire swept across the known world, Hellenizing its culture with remarkable speed. The fourth kingdom, represented by the 2 legs of iron, would be as strong as iron, crushing and breaking all the others. This is a clear and historically undeniable prophecy of the Roman Empire. Its military might was unparalleled, and it crushed all opposition. The 2 legs of the statue have been interpreted by many scholars to represent the eventual division of the Roman Empire into its western and eastern halves, with capitals in Rome and Constantinople. So far, the prophecy has tracked secular history with 100% accuracy. But then the prophecy moves into a time that was still future to the Roman Empire, and which many scholars believe is still future to us. The statue's feet and 10 toes were made of a mixture of iron and clay. Daniel explains this symbolism. The kingdom will be divided. The kingdom will be partly strong and partly brittle. He adds that the people will mix with one another, but they will not hold together, any more than iron mixes with clay. This describes the final form of this 4th Gentile empire. It is a revived form of the Roman Empire, a confederation of 10 nations or rulers, the 10 toes, that attempts to unify but is inherently unstable. It possesses the iron-like strength and tyranny of ancient Rome, but it is brittle and divided, a mixture of authoritarianism and populism that cannot truly cohere. It is during the time of these 10 kings that the climax of the vision occurs. The stone, cut out without hands, strikes the statue and destroys it completely. This stone represents a kingdom of a different nature. It is not man-made. It is the divine supernatural kingdom of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Its arrival on the scene is not a gradual transition. It is a sudden, catastrophic judgment that utterly demolishes all the kingdoms of man. The prophecy concludes with the stone growing into a great mountain that fills the whole earth. This is the establishment of the millennial kingdom of Christ, the final, eternal kingdom that will never be destroyed or left to another people. This prophecy from Daniel 2 is the foundational timeline for all of eschatology. It provides the backbone, the historical framework into which all other prophecies fit. In chapter 7, Daniel is given a parallel vision, but this time the kingdoms are represented not by metals, but by 4 ravenous beasts: a lion, Babylon; a bear, Medo-Persia; a leopard with 4 wings, Greece, whose empire was split among 4 generals after Alexander's death; and a 4th terrifying beast with iron teeth, Rome. This 4th beast has 10 horns, corresponding to the 10 toes of the statue. Then Daniel sees another horn, a little horn, rise among the 10. This little horn is a person. He is boastful, he persecutes the saints, and he blasphemes God. This is the Bible's first detailed description of the Antichrist, the final ruler of the revived Roman Empire. The book of Daniel, written centuries before the events it describes, lays out the course of history with a precision that defies any natural explanation. It proves that history is not a random series of events, but is his story, guided by a sovereign hand. It gives us the framework to understand where we are in God's timeline. We are living in the age of the feet of iron and clay, a time of global instability and attempts at fragile alliances, awaiting the rise of the final 10-king confederacy and its tyrannical leader. But the ultimate message of Daniel is one of hope. The kingdoms of man, for all their gold, silver, bronze, and iron, are ultimately temporary and destined for the dustbin of history. But the kingdom of the Messiah, the stone cut without hands, is eternal. It is the kingdom that will crush all opposition, fill the whole earth, and stand forever. To understand Daniel is to understand the blueprint for our past, our present, and our future. If you want to delve deeper into the prophetic truths that unlock the whole of Scripture, subscribe to our channel.